this shit going, because it's fucking almost 1 in the morning, my god, and I gotta work tomorrow. Alright, welcome back to WRPL. It's the podcast where we talk about all the things we were watching, reading, playing, and listening to. My name's Ben.
I'm Steve.
What's up, Steve?
Not much, Ben. Happy to be back after my vacation.
Yeah, did anyone murder you? I sent as many people as I could.
No one murdered me, but someone did die.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I mean, you can regale us with that story if you want, or if you want to, keep it to yourself, that's fine as well.
I won't bore our listener with the story. Just someone died on my flight, and it was like an episode of, ER or The Pit or something, like right on my flight.
Nice.
But even though I saw a dead body, I got a free drink out of it. So that
hey.
It all worked out in the end.
It does. That's karma for you.
Shout out to doctors and nurses out there who take flights and like, God damn it, even on my vacation, I'm still working.
And Nick's with us again. Welcome back, Nick.
What's up?
So this week we are talking about the Toxic Avenger reboot and Caught Stealing. And then we'll discuss kind of our favorite Darren Aronofsky movies. Maybe we'll rank them. Some of us haven't seen, so it may be a little harder, but we'll give it a try. We got a roll, and I forgot to bring that up, so let me get that going. Do you guys trust me to roll with you since touching this will cause everything to shut down?
It's fine.
Okay, so Steve, this is you. 7. Nick, this is yours. 14. And me, 400? I got a 2. Even when I can cheat, I still lose. Alright. Alright, well, I guess that means Nick, you're first. What have you been consuming in all this time?
Well, I know that I said already that I didn't have a lot, so I don't have a lot because I've been watching shows and playing games that I haven't finished, so I can't talk about them. But I won't say much about it because it's an old movie. But I watched Jaws.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the 3D re-release, right?
Yeah. I had never seen Jaws. Like I didn't realize that until I got like 10 minutes into the movie, probably, and I was like, yeah, I've only seen clips of this movie. I've never seen this. I don't remember this. So I was pretty sure going in that I'd never seen it before, but anyway, it's great. I'm sure that many people already know that it's great, but
yeah, I mean it's Steven Spielberg classic.
Yeah, I would say I had an extra good time watching it, mainly because it was like I know the impact about it already, and like I know what I know it wasn't his first movie, but it's like one of his first movies.
Yep.
I know what he went on to do, so just knowing that and like it still has his style too. Like you can tell it's one of his movies. I don't know. It's just very good. Great score, and yeah, and the 3D was great. Like
that's so surprising.
Yeah, I feel like, I mean, the only real complaint I've had with most 3D movies in the past is if they don't really add anything. Like it doesn't seem like depth has been increased.
Mm-hmm.
And then the biggest one I feel like most people have is like it dulls the color a little bit.
Sure.
I think this might have had a little bit of that, but the movie was cleaned up in every other way so much. Like I know I never seen the original, but I've seen clips of the original, and I can tell this is the best movie he's ever looked. It has like a Spielberg introduction too, and he talks about the process and he oversaw it. But yeah, some of the shots where it's like up from the ship and it's looking down on the boat, and they're like having a conversation, like the depth is really noticeable. It's really cool, and like when the shark is real far out, it's just really well done. I wish I had been to Universal to do that ride.
Yeah, I got to do it one time before it closed down. So, but hey, I got to see the old King Kong and do all that. So, it's good stuff.
Thankfully, you can always watch the ride through.
Sure.
They've been uploaded, and I think I did do that one. Actually, off topic, I watched the Fallout house that they have. I watched a walkthrough of the Fallout house that they have right now.
I mean, if Ella Purnell's not there, then who gives a fuck?
I mean, you are following her character. That's like the plot.
Okay.
And I think it was a combination of different actresses like dressed up as her. I think
Sure.
there was even like a animation on a wall that you follow for.
Okay.
I mean, it was fine, but and obviously it's not. You got to be there, but anyway, I just thought that was.
I mean, there's scary things I guess that happen in that game and show, but it's not really a Halloween thing.
No, I was surprised.
It's coming out soon, so it's a way to promote it. So
yeah, I'm down though. I'd still go through it, obviously.
All right.
But yeah, Jaws, great. I gave it a 9 out of 10, which is
that's like a duh.
Duh.
Yeah. All right, Steve, you got a 7, so I guess you can go.
All right. What do I want to talk about first? Well, I'll get this out of the way. I read a book.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're
Well,
allowed.
actually, 3 books.
Okay. Oh yeah, you
'Cause
finally finished
Yeah,
it.
I took some time off from talking about books and just finished the trilogy. So I read Joe Abercrombie's Age of Madness trilogy, and it's great. I had a really great time. It's a sequel trilogy to some other books in his first law world. It is a fantasy series. Uh, there is magic in this world, but like it never comes up or is talked about. It's more about like the characters and this revolution of like workers who are like we're tired of working in these factories and not getting paid and not having like safety regulations. It's kind of like heading more modern times, but more like industrial revolution, not really like cell phone modern times kind of
Okay.
shit. Um, but what's fun is like all the characters who you think are like one way in the first book change over the course. So it's like characters you hate in the first book, you end up loving by the end, and vice versa. There's lots of like twists and stuff of like, you may not have seen this coming, or you think it's this thing that's revealed in book 2, but actually in book 3 it's something else. But one of my favorite segments is in book 2, where there's like a battle sequence, and it's not following like mostly it's not following any of the main characters. It's just like people in the battle, and someone will be like, fighting with a spear, and then they get an arrow, and then it cuts to the guy who shot him with that arrow. He's like, "I got one, man!" And then they start talking, and then this guy gets his head chopped off by like a guy on a horse, and then the guy on the horse is just like, "Charge!" And then it's like just going through the
Okay.
battle and like
It's a one
cut.
take, but in a book.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a one take in a book, and it's like just cutting between all these different characters who, because sometimes you're reading or you're watching any sort of media, and you're like, there's a lot of stuff going on. Like, I wonder what some of the other people in this scenario are like
Sure.
thinking.
Yeah.
But you're getting that in this book, and it's just uh, it does some like real fun stuff with that in terms of like how it structures the narrative. But I mean, mostly it focuses on the same like 5 characters. Um, but by the end, I had a really great time. He's really good at dialogue, being very both witty and deep and meaningful. And yeah, I'd happily read more by this guy. This is the 9th book of his I've read.
Damn.
This is the 3rd trilogy of 3, and I've liked them all. Uh, he's really popular right now. So if you like fantasy, if you like fun characters and witty dialogue, and it's all grimdark stuff. So lots of bummers because characters you like may get killed off, or it's just very real and violent. Uh, it's a good time, and his newest book that just came out was just optioned by James Cameron. He's making apparently one of his books into a movie. We'll see if that comes to fruition.
He'll produce it, and
It'll- it ha-
someone else will.
Apparently, he's directing it.
Well, see, I thought his next thing was some kind of like racist war movie. I don't have the
I don't
facts
know.
in my head of that one. So.
I haven't read his newest book that James Cameron is apparently trying to direct, but I think it sounds like something you might be more interested in, where it's like a group of like a ragtag group come together, but like one's I think a vampire and a werewolf and stuff, and it's just them on this quest to do something or other. But it's I think like kind of subverting some of those tropes.
Okay.
But I don't know enough about it to really like pitch it to you. But
Alright.
when I saw the description, the book is called The Devils. So yeah, if that sounds interesting to you, then look it up.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Well, I forgot to start the episode off with this, but I'll just use my turn for news and trailers. So, big sad news. Mortal Kombat 2 got moved all the way to May of 2026.
Great.
What the fuck? That's 7 months away. Like that I don't get it. They were getting a lot of like good screeners. People were enjoying it. They seemed to be on track for release, but I don't know if they thought, well, let's put a little extra money, clean up some of these effects, or they just thought it's a bad release time for Halloween and put it at the start of next year's summer release.
I read that. Yeah. I read the second thing that
Yeah.
you said. But I was kind of blown away when I saw it. I was like, damn. Because I know you talked about the trailer and you said it looks bad.
Yeah, looks terrible.
I really don't like the other one. And I also remember seeing the trailer for the first one and be like, this looks pretty sweet. watching the trailer for this one, I don't feel as hype, but that's for a bunch of reasons.
Okay.
But I still think like it looked kind of cool in some moments, so I'm bummed to hear this. It was just like another movie on the slate of tons of good stuff still to come for me, so I'm bummed. But I read it was the second thing. I think they're just trying to squeeze some more money out of it.
Okay.
If it's reshoots and stuff, it's just like, why can't they get this together?
I know.
Why is this so hard?
Like they gotta follow the who did the creator? What's his name? Gareth Edwards.
Yeah.
You know, because he's very, since he comes from a background in visual effects, he like storyboards out every single scene so they know what they're getting into before they even start the movie. Like, why are you shooting a movie if you don't even know what it's about? Like the whole Avengers Doomsday, like they're taking time because they don't even know how it is going to end. They don't have a completely finished script. Like, this is your big moneymaker, and you're just rolling into production without ever knowing what you're actually going to do. It's ridiculous and stupid. But also in other NetherRealm news, Injustice 3 got like kind of sneakily announced, not an official announcement. I guess two guys who do voice work for it kind of leaked out of Comic-Con that Injustice 3 is coming. I'm not a big Injustice fan. Like I'm not good at those fighting games, but you know, they always are fun.
Yeah.
Any character you want to see, Steve? I know we talked about this before, so I already have an answer.
If we talked about it, I don't remember. I mean, I have dabbled in the Injustice world, but I'm in the same boat of like I haven't really cared about fighting games in a long, long time, and I'm not good enough to go like I'm having a great time.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna get good.
Yeah. I think I have Injustice 2 because it was a free download 1 month. But other than that, what character would I like to see? Squirrel Girl. Why not?
That's
oh,
a
wait, no, that's
Marvel
Marvel.
character.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Reverse.
But you could do like an Invincible, like if you want to see someone from a different comic come over. But I think save Invincible for Mortal Kombat since Omni-Man's already there.
A whole Invincible fighting game.
And they have that, yeah, so we don't really need that. I hear people are saying Static Shock. You know, he's like part of DC.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. His name's Static. The show is called Static Shock. But we talked about back in the day, like throw some Watchmen in there. Now that Watchmen is part of DC, you know, even
Dr. Manhattan
is the final boss,
X
and it just obliterates. No, he would be the final boss. You know, just like in Mortal Kombat, they had like Chronica who can, you know, fast forward and reverse time, and you can still beat her. So, you know, fuck it. If Poison Ivy or say Black Canary can fight Superman in a game, like that stuff, you got to look past the power scaling bullshit. Yeah. But I think Dr. Manhattan is the final boss would be great. And then everybody else can just be skins, really. Like Batman can be Night Owl. I mean, Rorschach would probably be harder to have a equivalent, but you take...
I think he'd probably be like whatever the Joker's moveset is.
Could be, yeah. Or if they have the question.
He would almost fit in like more like Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, just because of how violent he is. Yeah. Silk Spectre, you just throw a skin on Black Canary or someone like that, and then they'll probably have Peacemaker because now Peacemaker is the like new DC Golden Boy. Everybody loves him, so they'll put him in. Then if you have Peacemaker, you just throw the Comedian skin on him because the Comedian is based off original Peacemaker. So that'd be kind of a fun thing to do.
You know what? Throw in Eddie Gordo. That's what I want.
Yeah, you really know your video game characters.
Peacemaker's in Mortal Kombat 1.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, okay.
But
so they just throw him in this?
Yeah, it's like, but so you have like a DC person, you have Omni-Man, and it's like they have things from every place, but he is a DC character, so I can see that he would have to be a requirement in that. Like when Marvel vs. Capcom 3, Disney was very big on like pull out all the X-Men. We don't want any more X-Men. That we don't own that property yet. Focus on the Guardians of the Galaxy and things like that. So I could see Peacemaker being in there, and then you put a skin on him for Comedian. I think that's all of them. Or I guess Ozymandias. I don't know who you'd put him on, but you know, make him into his own individual character. That's fine. Okay, let's get to some trailers. Unless you have something else to say, Steve.
I mean, I have other stuff, but no, we can go to trailers.
Okay. I meant about DC
No.
stuff. Okay. So there's 2 trailers. One came out just like really, really recent. It was 28 years later, The Bone Temple. You guys watch that?
I did.
I haven't seen that.
You haven't watched it yet? Oh
I
man.
mean, you can talk about
Yeah.
it, obviously.
Oh well, of course. It looks awesome, and it really feels like the other movie. 28 years later, it doesn't look like a different director has taken over, and it's fun seeing some of the same locations, like that train that we were on. We get to see it, maybe when it crashed, and it just looks like a really good, disgusting time.
I mean, I wasn't as blown. I don't think the trailer anywhere is good as
No.
the 28 years later trailer.
It's because of that audio really sold it.
It's great. That being said, I agree it does look like it fits in the same world. I mean, it's pretty much the exact same cast minus, I assume.
I mean, it's probably 2 people of the same cast, if you're not counting Floppy Dong Zombie. It's probably little boy.
I'm counting.
Okay. So 3 people.
Floppy Dog Zombie, the kid, Jack O'Connell, and Ray Fiennes.
Ray Fiennes. Okay.
So you're really only missing
Mom and Dad and the rest of the village. Yeah.
but Dad may show up. Who knows?
Yeah, who knows?
But yeah, it looks like it's all set in the same area and all that good stuff and all. But it's from a director who hasn't done anything great yet.
Has the biggest bomb in all of movie history.
So, I'm cautious about
Sure.
it. Really love Danny Boyle, and I'm not against I'm not a purist where only he should direct this series because he can direct 2
and 2's great.
2.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of fans will say 2 is dog shit, and it's only 1 and year.
Yeah, well, fuck him.
Yeah.
But I mean, at least it's written by Alex Garland.
Yeah.
Produced by Danny Boyle.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm definitely gonna see it, but I'm slightly nervous.
All right. And it's a January release, and that's kind of scary. Are they doing January because there's not as much in theaters? Because that's when you normally dump your shit. Do they not have as much faith in it? But this is part 2 of a trilogy, so you have a little faith in it.
I just kind of like how weird 28 Years Later was, and how it had an emotional beat at the end, and I worry that this one's just going to go fuck it, we'll just make it a cool action zombie movie or something. But we'll see.
Yeah.
I'll see what happens.
And then the last trailer I got is something that I heard was coming, but completely forgot about, and then now it's here. Sisu 2.
Oh, yeah.
Which I liked Sisu 1. It was a good time. It wasn't an amazing movie, but it was a good time.
Yeah.
But this trailer, a lot like that first trailer, looks like a lot of fun. But they do kind of show a lot, they show almost a whole sequence.
Yeah.
It's okay, if this movie has 3 major sequences, you've seen everything of the first one condensed into 30 seconds. But looks like a bloody good time.
I didn't see the first one. It's on my to-do list.
All right.
I have a backlog.
It's on your to-see Sue list. Okay, moving on.
Moving on.
Nick, your turn.
All right. Not much to say about this one. I don't think either of you care, but
Then don't bring it up.
but I did take my mom to see The Roses.
Oh yeah, okay.
Last week,
I'm interested.
Never saw The War of the Roses. Didn't even know this was a remake of sorts until my mom told me. So can't compare it to that. But it's fine. Of the movies I've taken her to see over the last couple years, it's definitely my least favorite.
Okay.
But it has some funny moments. All the moments that actually made me laugh that didn't just come across as kind of borderline cringy British humor,
Okay.
which I'm accustomed to. I watch a lot of British stuff, especially shows and stuff. But I don't think it's just a cultural thing. Sometimes it's just I don't know. Anyway, has a lot of that humor. The only stuff that really made me laugh was Kate McKinnon's.
Oh, okay.
She's in a few good scenes. She's always funny.
Yeah.
So her stuff was good.
So are they Brits who live in America and their kids are American?
No, they don't live in America.
They don't live in America?
No.
Oh, I swear they did.
I mean, they I can't remember if they start moving towards the end, but they're together most of the movie. That was one thing I was surprised about.
Oh, they don't break up until towards the end?
Yeah, it's a little under 2 hours, and I would say maybe the last 35 minutes, maybe 40, maybe
Really?
40.
Okay, that's surprising.
Where they do, and it dissolves very quickly. But yeah, it's fine. Good one-time watch.
All right.
Not much else to say about it. It's the same. Did you see the original? Have you ever seen it?
It was something my mom watched when I was a kid, but I don't know if I sat through the entire thing. I just know of it.
Yeah, I mean, first, like until they break up and it starts getting a little more serious, a little more emotional, and they really talk out their problems and stuff. I wonder how you would like it because you're the only one of our group that's married, and like when they go over like a lot of their issues and they're brutally honest with each other and stuff. I can relate to some of the conversation before, but I just wonder if you ever how you would react to some of it, because we're heartless souls up here. So
No, unlovable.
but yeah, like I said, it gets better when it starts to take itself a little more seriously. Oh god, there's this awful scene in it though. Like it all starts to really go downhill when he loses his job.
Mm-hmm.
And he's an architect and he builds this like big sailboat, fancy, dumb looking thing on top of a building, like a I don't even know what it was called, some architect term. But then there's like an awful storm that night, and it catches the wind wrong, and it all breaks, and people are recording it because he's having a meltdown because he's like the after party's across the street from him, so you can see it. And Andy Samberg is like his friend who also is kind of envious of him, so he's oh no, but there's someone's recording, a couple people are, and it ends up getting turned into like a video,
like an auto-tune song or something.
Yeah, something that I feel like old people who wrote this movie would think is funny.
Yeah,
it was tough to watch. And it's just like him, like it's just like this awful sound of Andy Samberg talking in the background and getting repeated. It was terrible, really cringy. But the main reason I bring it up is we get up to Leo at the end and they're playing it during the credits. They're playing that fucking song.
God.
I was like, oh, this is so bad. But yeah, it's fine.
All right. Steve.
All right, I beat a video game.
Mm-hmm.
It's called Sword of the Sea. It's came out this month. It was from the same game director that did Journey, if you remember that game. So this game is set in this like fantastical world. There's zero dialogue. It's all about the visuals. It's not really combat based. You are this like knight warrior kind of thing that just rides a sword like a surfboard.
Okay.
And you go across this like desert landscape and you just kind of like complete objectives and then make like water come out. And then there's all these like floating fish and whales and stuff that you can kind of like hop on. And it's only like a 5-hour game. It's real short. But I'd still recommend it because it's visually very beautiful. And like it is really fun to kind of just ride a sword around like a surfboard or a skateboard, and you can actually like you find half pipes and you can do tricks. Like it's nothing fancy. You're not doing like Tony Hawk Pro Skater moves or anything like that.
Christ dare!
Yeah, you're not Spider-Man like web swinging your board back to you. But it is just like a very simple, like relaxing game. There is like some story in it of this like giant metallic fire breathing like snake monster that you need to like defeat at the end, and there is like this another sort of warrior companion who shows up, but like you really don't know what's going on. Like you don't know if this is like heaven or just a planet or like where this warrior came from, or anything like that. So it's not like it's giving you a ton of answers, but you find little markers that kind of give you like little bits of like lore on the world. But it's weird, but it's just really visually interesting and just like a very nice, sweet game.
When you say like it gives you objectives, what are that? Like surf through 4 rings or beat this time trial? If there's no combat, what's your objectives?
I mean, there are like things you can find where it's just like you have a minute to score as many points as you can, but that like has nothing to do with story. It's just kind of like a side, like a mini game and thing. The game's very linear. Like you can pretty much only, not necessarily just go straight. It is a slightly open world, but the world is so small, like you're pretty much just going straight. It's just you have to like climb stuff, and then once you find a thing in the ground basically, and you stick your sword in it, and that brings the water down, and then you're basically like kind of bringing life back to.
Okay. So it's just hit checkpoints.
Basically hit checkpoints.
Okay.
Like I said, it's not the most exciting game in the world.
But it's prettier than like a Subway Surfer.
Yeah. I think it's like this would be like a cool game to play like when you're in middle school or something like that. Like,
Okay.
oh, I've never played a game like this. I'm just used to like button mashing and beat 'em ups. And, kind of like just to immerse yourself in this world that you don't normally get to see in other video games because it's so like either story driven or combat heavy or whatever. It's like no, it's not about that. It's about the journey you go on.
Can you take the thing off? You guys, that mic must suck or something, or you guys are just too soft spoken. Because like me, like this is louder than you guys.
I don't see how that's possible.
Yeah, I think it's a mic.
I mean, okay, let's switch. Put the thing back on and let's switch and let's. Okay. Now me using your microphone is I'm still so much louder than you guys ever picked up.
Maybe you should hold it this far down.
I mean that one you don't talk up like this, but
So what does it sound like when I talk like? I mean, how does it come up on
right
there?
now it's bigger
fine.
than it was before, but not as big as me when I use that one.
I don't think I'm talking any differently, but okay. So yeah, if you like Journey, if you like, I think the other games from this company were Abzu and The Pathless. I didn't play those two, but they're in the sort of similar vein of it's more about like the journey than needing to know a bunch of buttons and inventory menus and all that shit. So yeah, check it out. It's pretty good.
Cool. So I'm not going to talk about Splitsville. It's cute. It's nice. I enjoyed it.
What would you give it out of a grade?
I gave it a B.
B? All right.
It's just a good, nice movie. Don't need to own it. Don't need to rewatch it. I'm not going to talk about Zola, the movie that was based off of a tweet or a series of tweets. It's fun, but it's a little light and it needs some, I don't know, fictionalization of it. They could really bump it up. And I could actually see it be like an interesting mini series of this crazy weekend that we went on to. But that's on HBO if you're interested. It's still pretty good. I enjoyed it. I think I give it a B minus.
Okay.
What I will talk about is probably the worst movie I have seen this year, Run.
Oh.
A movie from a director who primarily makes direct-to-Tubi movies. So that's the type of quality this is. It's a fine concept. Some 5 women. She breaks off her marriage and she wants to have a girls' night or a girls' weekend in a cabin in the woods to kind of like reset their mind. Why is she calling this wedding off? And it just so happens aliens are invading at the same time. And it's funny because like they keep cutting to ships like coming over the horizon and getting to cities, but they're still just like at the gas station pumping gas and like there's no crazy traffic or riots happening. And they get there and for some reason the aliens really want to kill these women. They look like the aliens from Signs, but
So just
bigger
standard
eyes.
aliens?
Just bigger, buffer.
Okay.
But not the grays. They're more green.
Okay.
And it's funny because they just like drop out of trees. There's a couple of like kind of creepy moments in the woods. It's dark and you hear their clicking sounds, but then they just get grabbed and pulled off screen, and then they're dead. And oh, Judy, where'd Judy go? And then they find Judy's body. And then it's always them bullshitting. What do we do next? Oh, we're screwed. We should just kill ourselves. Then the president of the United States comes up on the TV, and it's just a dude in a room with a blue background. There's nothing presidential looking of it. It's like a guy on a Zoom meeting, and lets us all know like the aliens are weak to the flash in our phone.
That was in the trailer.
Yeah, it's like it
What?
yeah, the Flash freaks them out. It like burns their skin. They're like vampires, I guess. We don't know what the aliens' purpose are. They just want to kill us. And it wasn't a big theater that it was in, obviously, but it was practically sold out. There was a fuck ton of people in this movie, and I was the only one laughing. Like when they revealed the Flash thing, I just gave out like a ha, and everybody else is silent. Like, oh, are these people taking this seriously? It's such a cheap movie, and the dialogue is so poor, and like nobody talks like this. Huge piece of shit. Not even like a fun watch. I do wish I did watch it with someone just so someone would laugh with me. But I wouldn't even recommend this as a bad watch. I got one. I want to watch War of the Worlds because I need to have more bad movies on my worst of the year list.
Sure.
And I've seen enough videos about that I don't know if it will beat it, because at least this was like shot on location, has special effects, but you can see them reusing the same assets of like an alien jumps off of a tree, an alien jumps off a tree onto the roof, an alien jumps off the roof, and it's all the same animation every single time. And it could look worse. It looks better than the aliens in Signs, for sure. But when did that movie come out? So, yeah, bad movie. You should be embarrassed.
So just one follow-up question, then we'll move on. So you say that they're weak to the flash my phones. Like, do they ever talk about doing like flash my flashlight, or like is there any other
they
like
cut our power because the light hurts, but it doesn't ever seem like a lamp would hurt them. They
It's only specifically
say the camera phone, the camera flash.
That's so fucking stupid.
It
Okay,
is so fucking stupid.
fair enough.
Yeah.
All right, so you should have texted me because I might have gone to see that one.
Okay, I wasn't planning on seeing. I was planning on seeing Caught Stealing.
Okay.
So I went to it, and then I went, oh, this showtime doesn't match. Why did I think that? And I think I was just looking at the showtimes for Run and got mixed up. So I was like, fuck it, I'm here. I might as well just go see it.
Okay, because that was going to lead into my next question, because it's like, I would never have gone to see that movie by myself. And I'll see almost anything. It looked so bad. Like, I couldn't even believe that it was it got a theatrical release at all.
Yeah.
And like, we talk about this all the time. How our theater decides what it gets and doesn't get gets more mind-boggling every week lately.
It gets its own theater and showtimes all week, but Toxic Avenger gets one showing.
Red Sonja got one
day.
Now, if that was a Fathom Events thing and they don't have any control over it,
sure.
okay.
Yeah.
But this, I don't know. I would have watched this only with you, and the fact that you said that nobody else was laughing, they might have been taking it seriously, is hilarious.
Yeah.
I want, because not a lot of people are laughing in Flight Risk, but this is a whole other level of crap.
Yeah.
So it's like, I wonder.
Flight Risk was a lot more fun to watch than this.
Yeah, and it had more money behind it
Sure.
and stacked, but. Wow, that's really funny. You saw that because literally when I was going through the movies that were coming out, and in the app of our theater, it didn't have a picture.
Yeah,
it just said the name, and I forgot that that's what that was called. So I assumed it was another Bollywood movie, which is what we get a lot.
We get a lot of that. Yeah.
And when I actually clicked on it one day and I actually realized what it was, I was like, oh my god, why are we getting this when there's like a theater, 45 minutes from us, 40 minutes, whatever, that gets it's the same company and it gets all kinds of stuff that we don't get.
Yeah, they like split them. If you get two, we get two. That's fine. I get it, but they get everything, and then we get Just Caught Stealing.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? I don't get it.
I don't get it either.
They must have the metrics. Like, why do we have a lot of Bollywood films? Because people go see them.
And I believe it. I see people come out for them. I do.
That's the thing. I don't see a lot of people of that race going in and out of that theater. It's like I see more white and black people than I do Indian or Pakistan or anybody. Like, maybe it's just by the time I'm there, their movies are already starting, so they're in the theater. But I never see the theater empty out. And
I definitely do.
Okay.
I definitely do. So maybe they come on the weekdays more. Maybe,
and I'm a weekend guy.
It could be. I'm not sure, but I definitely do. I mean, there was, I forget what it was. I saw something the other day, and I got out as the same as one of them. Their theaters was getting out, and
I know it sounds like we're being racist, but it's like we, as white people, we don't necessarily know what words to call people. So then it comes off as even worse. Like, oh, I want to say the bad thing, but I got to say the good thing. We're not being racist. Trust us.
And like all the movies too. There's some of them are in different dialects and different cultures too. So I'm not going to sit here and even attempt.
Yeah,
I'm sure we're all just whiteys to them. So you can cut all that. But anyway,
no, it's in.
No, this is bad.
Yeah.
Shane Gillis is still out there successful.
Shane Gillis has money behind it.
And no one's listening to this except for us three.
That's right.
But anyway, they definitely. I've seen it, so it could just be a time thing. But yeah.
But Nick, you got something else?
Actually, I do. I didn't think I had any more movies, but when you were talking about yours, that movie, that garbage movie, it reminded me. I don't think I ever talked about Primitive War
No,
on
you did
this,
not.
so I'll talk about that. But
Okay.
real quick, I tried a food, and I was gonna ask if you did because you're the one that tries all the snacks.
You know it.
Did you get the Reese's Oreos?
No, I was at Walmart today doing shopping,
Okay.
and there was a stand with a sign, and I was like, "Ooh, perfect! I'll go grab one." And they didn't have any on it; it was all like
Oh.
regular ass Oreos. So I was like, "Okay,
Okay.
fuck you."
Because I haven't been able to find the cups. You know, like the
yeah.
cream peanut butter cups with
Mhm.
the. I do really want to try those, but I want to try the Oreos too. I did find them in a Dollar General, if that helps. They had plenty.
Okay.
But anyway, I got a box of them, and they're pretty good. Like peanut butter is one of my favorite things
Mhm.
ever, but peanut butter cookies I've never really liked. I always thought they're kind of
Okay.
dry and boring. Not a cookie I'd go for, and that's kind of what this just comes all across at.
Okay.
But the more it sits, you can kind of tell it's like Reese's
Mhm.
more than normal peanut butter. I would say the chocolate like sandwich cookie part of it helps make it like you get a little bit of chocolate too, so it's still tastes like a Reese's cup and not just a peanut butter cookie.
Okay.
But I would recommend if are you a milk person with your
Nope.
Oreos? I didn't think so. Well, I was dipping them in chocolate milk, and that was heaven. So
Yeah, I mean, I can make I like chocolate milk more than
yeah.
milk. Like, I would drink a glass of chocolate milk. I would never drink a glass of milk.
Oh yeah, for sure. But I
And
usually
I'm not a dipper of my cookies. I like them because I don't like soft cookies. I don't
Yeah.
like hot. I like my cookies hard. So putting it in milk is like the opposite of what I like. So
Yeah, I'm normally I'm not. I think Oreos are the only thing I've ever.
Okay.
And I'm not saying if you handed me a dry Oreo, I'd be like, give me some milk,
Yeah.
bitch. Like, no, of course I'm gonna eat it. Have you ever seen that video of the one? It's like the kind of bigger lady, and she's just like, um, I don't. I think she says dry, or maybe she says like hard. Like I don't want a hard cookie. Like don't give me that shit. I don't want a single hard cookie or whatever.
No, I haven't seen that.
And I don't even know if it's hard. I can't remember what she said. But then one of the it's on a podcast. One of the other ladies is like, well, what about an Oreo? And she's like, I'll do an Oreo. Like,
Okay,
yeah.
I did see that.
I don't know. I don't think she said hard. I don't know what it was, but she's
No,
like,
I think it is. I think it is a hard cookie.
Okay.
Because I think when I saw it, I'm like, you and me aren't getting along. I want a hard cookie.
I don't discriminate cookies. I like them both, but yeah, just the immediate switch. Just like, well, I'll
Because
do
sometimes,
Oreo.
like, you have such an opinion on something, and then someone brings up this one fact, like, God damn it, I gotta concede to that.
It was just the first thing she says. It's so funny, but yeah, they're pretty good. I think you'll like them, but they didn't like blow my socks off or anything,
Okay.
you know.
Because I wear shoes, and they couldn't come off.
Exactly. But yeah, okay, so Primitive War. I already sent. I think I sent you probably. That was one of the longer reviews that I've done recently, and you asked me about it, and I didn't want to just just whatever. And at that point, I think I already knew you weren't going to be able to see it.
Yeah.
So it was just like,
Yeah, because it's another one of those theater things. One showtime every day of the week except for Sunday, the one day I was able to see it. Stupid.
I'll never understand that.
No, we got to release Harry Potter again.
Yeah, like that theater is getting, and I'm not that mad about it because I got to go see Jaws, although I don't think Jaws is a part of the series, but they're also getting some kind of like cinema series. So every day they get a classic movie for like, which I kind of like that.
That's cool. That's great.
That's better than the Harry Potter movies get re-released in theaters every other year.
Yeah. And you have 7, 8 of them.
8 of them.
There's always going to be a 10-year anniversary of some of them.
At least the Conjuring like marathons, or they did put all the Conjuring movies like one night, like even the Annabelle's recently. That makes sense. It's like leading up to.
Yeah.
But anyway, they did get Primitive War, and I did go see it, and then I will say I had pretty high expectations for this actually, because I think even though I knew it was lower budget, I still don't know what the actual budget was. I think I read somewhere like 7 million or maybe 11, I don't know, but I don't think they really reported it. And this is like sucks because normally you can go on Wiki and just see the budget, and people like us are the only people that would care about that. This is a movie like I'm really curious about the budget for a lot of reasons. But anyway, they definitely got the most out of whatever they spent on it as far as how the movie looks. Basically, the movie opens. There's like a SEAL team out in the jungle at night, and they're getting attacked by the raptors, and they kill them all, and that's it. Cut to like the army base. You realize they're in Vietnam. And basically, this captain sends another team to go find out why he lost contact, because those were his best people. They wouldn't just disappear. Pretty typical.
Okay. It's a Saving Private Ryan situation.
Yes. And like right off the bat, acting varies from actor to actor, but for the most part, it's meh. It's passable to meh. There's definitely some moments where it's like that delivery of that line. I would have gone another take, I think.
But then you got to think like, ooh, that's the best take.
Yeah. And some will argue it's B-movie schlock or whatever. Okay, but it takes itself too seriously for me to buy into that narrative for this movie, I feel like.
For me, like bad movies are better when the people who are making it are so sincere. They think they are making something great, and they like The Room. You know, you take a Tommy Wiseau who thinks he's making art, and he's just making slop. It's the ones like the Sharknadoes where they go, we're making
parodies,
you
and
know.
stuff. Yeah.
So if they go like, this is gonna be Saving Private Ryan meets Jurassic Park, this is gonna be so fucking hardcore, and then it comes out like shit, I'm all there for it.
Yeah. Well, it's not shit. Like, I mean, not to spoil the end of this, but I'll say right now, like, it's not shit. I gave it, and I may have been a little harsh because I checked the time a lot. It's fucking long. It's over 2 hours long, and that's probably I can't help but factor in how many times I checked how much was long, because that's how I know that all the scenes without the dinosaurs were pretty much not interesting.
Yeah.
So that's my biggest complaint. Is just like the story, which I was going to get into. Basically, they go out there, they find them, they come across the dinosaurs, they find some lady survivor from Russia. She was helping. It gets kind of convoluted real quick, but basically, I think it was Russians, and I forget the reason. I guess it was like why they picked Vietnam. Maybe it had something to do with climate, the distraction of the war going on. I'm not really sure, but they are trying to open a portal to like be able to send a whole army through right on the front lawn of the U.S. while they're in this war with Vietnam, and that kind of stuff. Okay, kind of cool. Yeah. But they don't even get to that stuff to the very end, unfortunately, really.
So is it that we created a portal so we can deploy our troops easier, but it actually opened up a portal to the past?
Yes, something went wrong, and it like opened up a portal to the past, and dinosaurs started coming through.
Cool.
And yeah, when that's what they said, I'm like, I'm okay with it. That's fine. Yeah, and I guess that's it. It's just there's a lot of dinosaur stuff too, even in a 2-hour movie. But there's a lot of people stuff, and then when they're delivering their exposition and trying to, like, I don't feel anything for these characters. Some of them have death scenes that you would see in like a Saving Private Ryan or something, and it just doesn't hit for me because like I don't care about any of these characters. None of them are likable or funny. Jeremy Piven's in it. I didn't realize he was in it. He's probably the most notable. The blonde guy, I've definitely seen him on a TV show or two, but I don't. He's like the lead. I don't know his name. Other than that, I didn't recognize anybody in this movie. But I will say. And this is where I think I might have been a little harsh because, like, I feel like it gained some points in the finale. The last, 20 minutes of this movie are pretty fucking awesome. Like, I'm not going to lie. And I've thought back on it, and I'm like, what more could I really have asked for from the end of that? It's just carnage. It's just dinosaurs.
And bloody.
Dinosaurs chomping into people and ripping them apart, and it's a little more CGI blood, but the CGI in it, especially in the night scenes, is where it actually looks pretty fucking good. In the daytime, and I said this in my review, it does look a little prehistoric planet, walking with dinosaurs, whatever. Yeah. But still, a little better. But it's when you have the nighttime shadows on it and the lighting, especially with the feathers on the, because they do use the more like accurate now that we know what dinosaurs look like version of most of these creatures. So, and that's cool to see too. We haven't seen that yet in a big like movie like this. I just wish I had maybe better actors and was a little trimmed, a little tighter. So yeah, I think I gave it like a 5 out of 10, and honestly, I think I was just pissed because I had really high expectations. Yeah. So I would probably give it like a 6.5. I know that doesn't sound like a big boost, but that is a big boost.
Good. So what's better, this or Jurassic World Rebirth? Because that's both people with guns wandering around the jungle area talking about bullshit that you don't give a fuck about.
It really is tough. Like boosting my score like I just did by my numbers, I would say this. But at the same time, sometimes if I am going to watch a kind of garbage movie, I do like it to be polished and expensive sometimes. Yeah. But this looks pretty good. So you know what? I'm gonna say this. I like this more than Jurassic World Rebirth. Right. But I'm kind of a hater of that movie, honestly. Yeah. So, but I'll wrap it up. The end of it, pretty awesome. Dinosaurs rampage all up through the like base that's surrounding the portal thing. And there's like this big final like moment where they're all rushing the helicopter, all the dinosaurs like coming after them, and they're trying to get on in time, and some of them they're catching some of them. The raptors are cool.
Is there an Ankylosaurus?
I don't think so.
Boo.
Yeah,
Movie.
brachiosaurs are in there. The triceratops are in there.
Your classics.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep. Stupid. We only got it for 3 days.
Yeah. All right, Steve. You're up next.
I've finished reading another thing, the Scott Pilgrim books.
Okay.
Yeah. So for my I think we talked about it on the pod before, for my birthday. Shut the fuck up, Nick. Either way, it doesn't matter. As a gift, I got all the Scott Pilgrim books, and as a huge fan of the movie, I never read them. I was looking forward to reading them. I sat down, read them all, and boy, they're great.
Yeah.
I really love these books. They're really funny. The movie is very accurate to the books while also being like very different in terms of like getting a lot of the dialogue the same, a lot of the shots are the same. It's weird that this franchise has told this story the same story 4 times, but it's all in different ways.
Yeah.
Whether it's the comic book, the movie, the video game, the TV show, it's the same story, but just a little different every time.
Yeah.
And I really liked these books in terms of you just get a little bit more of all the characters. There's some subplots that were like cut out from all the other versions of like there's a actress ex-girlfriend of Scott's that comes in, Lisa, who like they like she had a crush on him in like high school or middle school or whatever, but nothing ever came about it, and then she's showing interest in him while he's dating Ramona.
But you don't need to do that because you have Envy, who's a famous person.
Right.
It's like,
so it makes sense, like, to cut her out of the movie. But it's just another girl who's a super hot girl who's into Scott. Like, reading this book is so frustrating because there's, like, really not much to Scott to like.
Yep.
He is perfectly fine. It's like, oh, well, he's in a band. Well, that's a cool, attractive thing. But that's about it. Like, Scott is a nice enough guy, but he's also like kind of a dweeb, doesn't have a job, that does not like have any interest in getting a job. Like, he becomes a dishwasher eventually in the story, but it's not like he ever really like seems to grow up all that much or want to grow up. But he just
age of in your 20s where you have freedom. So why would I become the things my parents want? I'm going to double down on all the things that I was never able to do because I was just, still too young.
But like, it's not like he even tries that hard in the band. I mean, for half the books, he's like not even really in the band anymore. Like Steven Stills is doing his own thing with this other guy. Who's recording the album for him, and then they just fall in love at the end. So Steven Stills is gay. Kim is working at a video store that is never talked about in any of the other stories. There's a subplot with like Knives' dad who is like coming after Scott, and so they're like gonna have the samurai fight, but then Knives' dad is like, nah, he seems like a nice boy, I approve of him. But like, they've already broken up since book 1, and it's just like all these like beautiful, awesome, cool hipster chicks and stuff are like just fawning over Scott, and like, why?
Yeah.
And like every other person is more interesting and more capable than like Scott is good at fighting ex-boyfriends. Like, that's it. Like, he even admits he's like, I'm not even that good at bass, but like everyone wants to sleep with him. This book is also like, because there's more like interest in it. Like, this Scott fucks. Like, all the other Scotts, like Michael Cera does not fuck. The Scott in the game, in the book, or in the TV show does not fuck. The Scott in the comic books, this dude fucks. And it's just good for him, I guess. It was just so weird because it just doesn't seem like he would, but this guy does.
I need to reread this because I don't remember Knives' dad stuff, the dishwasher stuff. They're like,
yeah, I mean,
I blew through them really quick.
They're like all very like small, brief things. And that's another thing. Like, reading the comic books, like there'll be kind of like a scene where something happening, and it just cuts to like a complete like. Well, it's still Scott, but it's just like it's another scene. There's almost like I felt like sometimes I was missing pages, and not that it was like jarring or that like it didn't flow. It's just like, oh, I felt like we weren't really done with that scene. But that being said, it's just a good fucking time, and like really really fun and clever, and just I don't know if there's more books like this, but if there is, I hope to find them.
Sure.
Because it was just a real good time, and I see why it has become successful. The only thing I will say is that I think Lucas Lee, the second evil ex-boyfriend, really gets the short end of the stick in the comic books, because he's like barely in it.
Yeah.
He kind of shows up, punches Scott once, and it's just like, I'm sorry, man. Like, let's talk it out. And then Scott just like tells him to do the skateboard thing, and then he's defeated.
Yeah.
Like all the other ones, he actually like fights.
Mhm.
And I think like that's where the movie like really succeeds is like giving Lucas Lee's character like the stunt double thing, because it's
Yeah,
also like a
that's
fun
so
play on
cool.
being the
Yeah.
second evil ex-boyfriend.
Uh-huh.
Like that whole sequence is one of the best parts of that movie, where that just like doesn't exist in the comic books. So good for Edgar Wright for doing that. So yeah, if you haven't read the Scott Pilgrim books, check them out. They're a blast.
Cool. Well, Steve, you could give the microphone over to Nick, because the next thing that we're going to talk about, you did not see. This is this week's big new release, but I knew Steve wasn't going to give two shits about this, so we weren't going to make it our main topic.
I saw the other ones.
But
All of them? This is like number 8 or 9, technically.
Okay. Of the Conjurings, I've seen the 3.
Oh, okay.
well, there's 4. This is the 4th.
I understand.
He's
I
seen the
see.
other
You see
3.
the previous 3.
So what you're saying is you didn't go see it
You didn't go
for no reason.
Conjuring last rites? I mean, what the hell, man? You're not going to finish off the series?
Yeah.
Well, but before we get into it, there was a Regal pre-show saying, including all the other ones, what number is this in the series? And the answer was like 7. I'm like, no, there's 4 Conjuring,
Yeah.
3 Annabelle,
3, that's 7.
2 Nuns,
8.
and a La Llorona.
Yeah. Excuse me. I don't know how many people count.
And it's like, okay,
that one.
even if you don't count it, then it would be.
I don't even think I've
10.
seen that one.
But no, this is the 11th one. What the hell? Like, I
Yeah.
wonder how they got their trivia so long. But anywho, we're talking about The Conjuring, Last Rites, the super, super, totally real, 100% authentic story of Ed and Lorraine Warren, not con artists, but actually super cool warriors of God, going up against their scariest furniture flinging demon yet.
Fight in a mirror.
Yeah, fight in a mirror. Like, the final battle is them fighting their evil versions.
I did like the mirror spinning. Like,
oh, it was so funny.
like-
That was so silly.
it was.
But I like the idea. You're putting your hand on the mirror and your evil side is on the other one trying to fight back. Like, visually it could be cool. But the boyfriend's getting dragged along.
Yeah.
Throat and ankle getting chopped up. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. We don't
Yeah.
really have to go super deep in this. But this movie sucks. And you told me that it sucked. But I saw it anyways.
Well,
And-
of course. Don't listen to me.
The first hour, I was just like, you know what? This isn't that bad. There's some legitimately
Even though they
spooky
don't even
things.
get to the house that we already know they're going to go
Yeah,
to
for
anyway
so long.
for that first hour.
So long.
Like,
and
what?
once the priest kills himself, that's when it drops off.
Mm.
And it becomes so incredibly boring. There's a lot of stuff that can be cut out. There's a ping pong match that goes too long. There's a lot of reminiscing. There's funeral stuff. They take their sweet ass time to get there. But there's a couple of relatively spooky things. I think when the mom is in the basement and the dude's in the background turns on the light and it's just a poster of John Wayne.
Yeah.
I think that was effective. I think the telephone cord, even though I saw it coming a mile away, it's being pulled on.
By
the ghost in the pantry. Thought that was good.
Yeah.
When she's doing the TV stuff and there's those 2 little dots for eyes above the TV, light shines over. Oh, no, it was just a reflection off this stuff. Like, that stuff is good, effective, creepy things. They're good at doing the hand that's on the daughter's shoulder and slowly disappears behind the bed or reflating in the fingers. Like, that's the best stuff about The Conjuring is the little creepy stuff of not knowing what's going on in the background. It's all the flinging against the wall and screaming and holy books catching on fire that I think is the really boring stuff. But I give this movie a D because it's not good.
Yeah.
It falls off of a cliff after that priest dies, and I just lost all interest.
Yeah. I didn't care about this movie. Like, I didn't really have any expectations. I'll be honest with you. This is another one I'm not sure I even saw a full trailer for. I knew I was gonna watch it, but I didn't like the third one.
Yeah, third one is bad. Same director too.
Yeah.
And he did La Llorona and I think one of the nuns. Like that, all he's directed has been Conjuring movie shit.
Well, if he directed the first Nun, then I think I've only seen it once, but I think from memory, the first Nun is my least favorite of any of these movies.
I think the Nun 2 is way worse than Nun 1. I think visually there's some really interesting shots.
Yeah, I remember there just being a few really cool shots, but like I didn't like anything about the first Nun, so I liked the Nun 2 a little better.
Yeah, La Llorona is incredibly boring.
Okay, yeah, I think I turned it on and turned it off, to be honest with you.
And I'm not a fan of the Annabelle movies, really at all. I hate that doll. She's so ugly and not scary, and I hate that she just keeps showing up.
Yeah,
like we get that was also one of the scary things about Annabelle is she never moved. As far as I can recall, she never like gets up and walks or even turns her head. It's always like this expectation that she will. But in this, she fully like stands up. You know, it's just like a vision.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen her float.
Floating is one
because she's being held by a demon, really,
but actually getting up and like legs
growing
coming to
into
life.
this giant.
And then you got big Annabelle coming at you.
That was so. And like, you know what? Some people complain about the Crooked Man stuff from 2.
Yeah, I like the Crooked Man. He's
and
cool.
some of the stuff I understand, but I also really like. That's why I like 2. They did a few more swings.
Yeah,
went a little out there. I like 2 still, but it reminded me of the Crooked Man stuff, but not in a good way. Like all the things maybe I didn't like. Like, yeah, he did look a little out of place, a little silly, whatever. But this was just like, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
And Annabelle again. I mean, we'd already seen her in this movie, I think twice at that point. But then it's just like
they just need that part so everyone goes, "That's the Annabelle. She's right there."
Yeah, like this is another one similar to Weapons, and it's always horror. Horror's the most divisive, I swear. Everybody's like, "Oh, it didn't scare me. It sucks." Shut up.
It's fine if horror doesn't scare you.
It shouldn't. It's a movie.
And yeah, if you actually truly get scared, you're a whiny little child, baby.
Yeah. So I don't even understand why people brag about that. It's not even a brag.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to get into the psyche of horror fans, but I've argued with a plenty on my TikTok, and this is another one. It's just like, this one though, I'm going to be honest. This is y'all's podcast, so I don't even care. I think this movie's made for dumb people. I really do. This franchise has devolved into something lower IQ people can enjoy. It's very easy to digest, and just having engaged with a lot of these people in comments and tried to have smart debates with them, it's not possible with a lot of them because they just, like you said, they're just here for the fan service. And this movie, to me, just like, and I don't remember 3 that much, but I'm assuming it was a lot of the same, is just, it's like a real thin narrative, a real thin plot. Sure, they try to throw a little like emotional thing in there at the end and tie a little bit of ties to whatever.
Ed's having a heart attack. Ugh.
Yeah, whatever. For the most part, it's just a thin plot that strings together a bunch of ideas of how to startle us or scare us in the best they can. And I feel like they just sit in a room and they're like, all right, we need 12 of these moments. We need 13 of these moments. Yeah. Let's go, people. I roll my eyes so hard at this kitchen sink...
the garbage
disposal thing. I know they didn't really do anything with it, but they were still alluding and trying to build tension with a fucking hand in a garbage disposal thing. Yeah. Like, how many times have I seen this? That just drove me crazy. But yeah, I just think these movies have devolved so much into just stringing together a bunch of things that don't really work for me. It sounded like some of them worked for you a little bit more. I did like those scenes that you said, but none of them put me on edge as much as I would have liked.
No.
And maybe that's not what these movies... Like, when I think back on all these movies, I don't know if they've ever really unsettled me, especially 2, even though I like 2, and especially 3. But, like, I definitely remember the first one being, like, a high-quality, relatively effective, unsettling movie. So I know it's a totally different director, but, yeah, I'm not a huge fan of these movies, to be honest with you. Just 1 and 2, I guess. And not even really... Like, 2 I like a lot, but I'm not, like, obsessed with it.
Yeah.
And 1 is very good.
I would say, like, as a whole, you take all of them, I'd say probably the Insidious movies are better than the Conjuring movies. They don't have as many, so it's like they may only have, like, 1 dud, whereas the Conjuring series has, like, 6 duds.
Yeah, I was going to say, it might only just... It's almost like... It's because they cut it a little earlier.
Yeah.
Because I don't like the last There's 5, right? 5
I think
Insidious.
there's.
I think I really only like 1 and 2. I know 3 has good reviews and some people like it, but I don't remember liking 3. Definitely didn't care about the last key, and then the red door I think is the very last one. That one, all I remember is I don't remember much about it, but all I remember is thinking this is the worst one. So yeah, but that's still 2. Even though 2 doesn't have good reviews, but I like 2.
Yeah.
So
And this one, just there was so much like, okay, so the boyfriend is at Ed's birthday party, and he walks up to a guy at a grill, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I've worked with Ed before, and I got this scar from a poltergeist." And like, am I supposed to know who that guy is?
I didn't rewatch the other ones.
Yeah,
He
and
might have been in one of them. I don't know.
And then I get it, like at the wedding,
Yeah.
oh look, hey, remember, she's from 1. Oh look, she's from 2.
Yeah.
And like those are
And James
are more-
Wan.
And James Wan standing right next to
That's a little meta weird stupid for me, but whatever.
So like I understand like those, but like they're tying these all together, and it's just like maybe this would be cool if I really love this series, but
I was gonna say that's what a lot of the people argue with me about it. And I'm always like, why are you even arguing with me? I didn't totally shit on it. I just said it's not good. If you look at reviews for it, it's pretty split down the middle, and I fall on the other side. That's all. Why are you coming at me like this? And then they like flip out on you because you like responded. I'm like, you commented on my thing.
Yeah.
Did you just want to like drive by like carpet dust me with your crop dust me with your opposing opinion?
Your opinion sucks.
Exactly.
Don't come at me, otherwise I'll get real mad.
Literally.
Yeah.
It's crazy, but that's definitely another topic.
But hey, I guess it's doing well. I think it's made like 87 million and like 170 million worldwide or something. Like, okay, well,
they made way more than I thought it was.
Which is surprising because it's rated R, and like, are the Annabelles rated R as well?
I think every La Llorona.
Not La Llorona.
That might be 13.
But that's nuts that the studios are so anti-rated R because teens can't see it. Don't make a horror movie like this. But
they're finding a way. I think all theaters have gotten way more lax, so I think way more kids are getting in.
Oh, sure, and especially if it's you buy your tickets on your phone, and then they don't even have a ticket taker. Like once again, we show up to the theater and there's someone with an iPad going, "I can take your tickets here." Like, I have not even picked up my ticket yet. You leave me alone. And like I get it, you don't want people sneaking in, but that's why we had ticket takers back in the day, where they stand in the hallway and made sure people, not when they enter through the door, like. I have the Regal app. I'm going to use your kiosk. Leave me the fuck alone.
I understand wanting to be towards the front to catch them, because our theater, when you come in, you can go on 2 sides. And there's something in the middle that kind of obstructs the view, so it does make it easier to like go. But
not my problem.
We figured it out when we worked there all those years ago by just putting up some ropes.
Yep.
And then you can funnel them to whatever side you want.
On each side,
or if you even only want one, remember? Because when it was slower,
we only had one. You could still sneak in, but we did our best.
But it was way. Yeah. Anyway, I bet that's part of the reason.
Sure.
But I think I didn't think it was going to make that much money either. And kudos. But I also think that it didn't go up. Like there was no other competing movie. Like other stuff came out, but it was like Twinless and that one you saw. Like
Splitsville,
nobody's
seen
those movies, so it had no competition. And to be honest with you, a lot of the people that probably really love The Conjuring are probably similar. Not all, but I'm sure a lot of them are similar to the ones that hated Weapons.
Sure,
because they same genre. Like not specifically, but they dabble in the same genre. But definitely not exactly the same audiences, like target audiences. And I think Weapons being the only big movie really that would compete with this movie, like that's been out for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So
it's about to be on VOD any day now.
So I think that helped it a lot, but still, that is quite a lot of money.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's get to our main topic. Unless you have anything else you want to say about.
No, that's it.
Well, I mean, you can still talk about this one because you did see it. We're going to first talk about Toxic Avenger, the remake of the Troma film from back in the day. Either of you ever see the original Toxic Avenger?
I did not.
Well, you don't need to. They suck. Troma, I loved Troma as a kid because it was excessive gore, dumb comedy.
And there were like rapes and stuff.
There'll be like sexual violence and boobs, but
It almost gets a pass because it's this like grimy.
Yeah, it was like the grindhouse type movies.
Yeah.
And also they made Cannibal the musical. So Trey Parker, Matt Stone's first movie. So I like gave him I think a pass. James Gunn got his start with Lloyd Kaufman in Troma. Did I think he directed Tromeo and Juliet, which was like the reason why the Romeo and Juliet can't be together is because they're actually siblings. And then they say fuck it and they get together anyways and have a bunch of weird mutant incest babies at the end. Which is like, okay, that sounds like a gun thing. But yeah, so Steve, why don't you give us a brief synopsis of what this movie was?
Sure. This movie is about Peter Dinklage's character. He is a janitor at a chemical plant, and he finds out he has cancer, and he only has about 6 months to live. And so he tries to ask the CEO of the company, played by Kevin Bacon, for money.
Love seeing Kevin Bacon.
Kevin Bacon's like, "Sure, buddy," but not really. And then he tries to steal from the company and get money to pay for his treatment because he has to take care of his stepson, because his apartment on this back lot is about to be foreclosed on, and he falls into a vat of chemicals, gains superpowers, becomes this hideous monster person, and takes down crime in this in the seedy underbelly of this city, and takes it to Kevin Bacon.
Beautiful, Steve. Really, really
Nailed it
up there.
What happened to his wife again? I forget. I know she
died.
She just died. They don't think they ever really say what
happened.
I mean, you may be able to infer that lots of people get sick in this area due to the chemical plant.
Okay,
so it's probably that.
Yeah,
I don't know if they specifically ever said.
Yeah,
that's probably why.
Yeah, was excited for this one. It was made in 2002, 22 or 23.
Yeah, it's been for a few years.
It's been a while, and it's been just taking its sweet ass time to get here. Lots of festivals were playing it and talking about how it's just a splattery good time. So I was very excited for this. But as the days have gone on, I don't think I really like this movie that much.
Yeah, me either.
My roommate liked it a lot more than me. And as we were talking about it, she's like, I don't think you really like this movie. And no, I think I do. And I think I just want to like it.
Yeah. It's one of those things where I can see what they're doing and I appreciate that they're doing it, but that doesn't mean it's a good thing.
Yeah.
I think Peter Dinklage is doing his best. I don't think he's
he's fun.
I don't think he's underselling it. It's just the material is not that good, but it's also purposely not that good. Sure. It clearly has money behind it, but it still looks cheap.
Mm-hmm.
It's Kevin Bacon as the villain is always fun.
And Elijah Wood is there for no reason.
And I love Elijah Wood, and it's kind of fun to see him do the Gollum character transformation that you never actually got to see in the actual Lord of the Rings movies.
He reminded me of Danny DeVito's Penguin.
Sure, yeah. So there's elements to it's just as a movie, it's not all that interesting. I don't think any of the violence is all that fun or exciting. There's lots of jokes but most of them don't really land. Mm-hmm. There's a couple things I chuckled at, but it wasn't really oh, that was a really good joke. It was okay.
Yep.
It's all the guy, just mediocre.
In the evil band, he takes off his mask and he's got a little baby head.
Yeah.
That got me. Yeah. I laughed at that. I didn't expect that, but that was just more of a visual gag than anything else. I didn't laugh a whole lot, but I did chuckle. I think it was a fine time, and it could be a fun movie for kids getting into horror and wow, this is extreme, this is gross, this is so weird, because they're not as experienced in that genre. But I think as a rebooting, it doesn't really do anything all that interesting.
Yeah.
With it. There was a cartoon based off Toxic Avenger. It was called The Toxic Crusader, and he had a whole team of mutant people. There was one guy with a really big nose who can smell things really well. And it was just a fun team of weird mutant freaks, and they fought crime. And I kind of wish we had a little bit of that. All right, let me just pitch a little something to you. he has all this radioactive stuff in him, and he's cleaning up the city because it's leaking all over the place. Like maybe some barrels are falling off of trucks. It's not a safe place to live anymore. But now that he has this power, he's able to like soak it up with his mop and absorb it into himself, and he's actually cleaning up the town. And maybe he's like getting more powerful or crazy, but I imagine a barrel splatters into a prison, and all these crazy maniacs get turned into other crazy mutant monsters, and he has to go fight them. And he could either like save them by sucking out all the toxic energy out of them and turning them back into regular people, or he knocks their heads off with his mop. Just something as simple as that I think is fun. And then we get like Kevin Bacon turning into a weird bird thing. I can't even like. It was so.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, okay, if you're gonna do that, let's do more of that, because just having kind of two toxic monsters, they're so different looking. Like, okay, let's get some more variety. And I think like Kevin Bacon's fun to see, but like I kind of like Elijah Wood in this, and I wish he was like the main bad guy, but he actually turns out to be a secret good guy. I don't know. It was just very.
It was also like just trying to get his band off the ground, but they were also awful criminals. This movie's weird, which once again I get is partially the point. There feels like there could be something more here. I do like your idea of, the Toxic Avenger should be literally cleaning up the city with his magic mop and like fighting other monster people. And I don't know if it's just like, I think I'm starting to get a little tired of like evil CEO is the villain. Like I get capitalism's bad, corporations run everything.
But I don't want it in my entertainment.
Yeah, it's just like I just wish there was some more interesting villains, especially in something like so dumb like this. I don't need a like, pollution's bad, big business is bad, it fucks everybody over. Like I get it. If like he's your Green Goblin character and he's like the crux of like I'm the reason why the city is full of these monsters, that's fine. And if you want to like, we're hoping to do a trilogy of these movies, Kevin Bacon will be the final boss. Sure.
Yeah. Or you do the inverse where Kevin Bacon's an old man. He's been running this company forever. And say his heir is Elijah Wood. Because he's worked with toxic waste all these years, his sperm got a little bad. So now Elijah Wood's this weird mutant man. But Kevin Bacon is unaware of the damage he's doing to the town, because maybe he's bedridden now. And so Elijah Wood is trying to take over the company. He just wants Dad to die. But if his dad sees the true damage that he's doing, it may give him more of a will to live and do things. So they set up like fake press conferences and everything. He's keeping his dad in the dark while he's actually running the company and just polluting the shit out of the place. So then you could still have your capitalism is evil, but like the head boss of the factory is not the bad guy. I don't know. Just an idea.
There you go. Also, like, I think the movie does try to do stuff with the son and him, and it's all like, it works fine. But I think there's also an opportunity to like, and maybe you don't want to kill him off in case like, Toxic Avenger did really well, we want to keep him alive for sequels. But if I like your idea of like, he's soaking up this mop and he's soaking up this radiation, and it also seems like, what if he's so radioactive, like he's getting his kid sick, or he's cleaning up, like as he's cleaning up the city, he's making himself sicker. Like he's no longer like, because I think he beat the cancer with this radiation, right? But now he's just this gross monster man. Like he should be getting bigger and more disgusting and more radioactive. Like he has to sacrifice himself to save his stepson or the city or whatever. Like he needed to die at the end of this to be like a great hero, and for us to go like, oh man, he didn't get to see his son dance, or like he got to see his son dance before he exploded or something. I don't know. And then that dance at the end was so fucking weird and dumb. He's a weird bird person. I don't know, whatever. I wanted this movie to be better, and I think it was exactly what I expected it to be, which was disappointing. I was hoping my expectations were wrong, but it was fine.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Nick, anything before we move on?
No, I would say I probably liked it like the tiniest bit more than both of you guys, but I wouldn't argue with anything that you guys said, and I agree with almost all of it. I also think I only laughed genuinely maybe like once, and then a chuckle here or there. It was not the humor wasn't landing for me either as much as I think they would liked it to have. I think some of Dinklage's like again, I think it's the material, and I do think it was intentionally bad. But some of his like delivery and like
He's very weird in us.
it's just like this is weird. I know he's a good actor, obviously, so I think maybe he was being. I think he was really up and playing up that like poor me, pitiful me, and like, it's almost hard to watch sometimes.
Yeah.
The phone call with the insurance people was rough. But yeah, fun fact. I don't know if this is really true, but I'm pretty sure I read that wasn't even him in the suit.
Yeah, I think 80% of the time
Most
it's
of-
a
yeah.
stunt actor, and it's a woman.
Yeah.
And there's even times where you see him talking, and like that's not Dinklage under that mask. That's
Yeah.
just a voiceover.
Yep.
But hey, I wouldn't want to be in it either. You're not seeing my face. I could just do this in voiceover.
Yeah.
I could see why.
And I'll say I also think it looked a little cheaper than I thought it was gonna look. But I understand that the original. I haven't seen it, but I know about it, so I understand.
They are the like most extreme cheap movies out there.
Yep.
So it's like, is it paying homage or is it just low budget?
Yeah, I don't know, but it looked okay in other moments. But I think, like you said, I kind of was hoping it'd be a little more violent as well, and or at least like a little more practical effects. I think with some of the gore. There's some in
people
there.
getting their head smashed or their jaw broken off, but they were saying how like splatterific this is gonna be, and like, ooh, I'm expecting Terrifier levels of gore, and it really wasn't all that much.
Maybe we've been, I don't know if spoiled's the right word, but because of it's like Terrifier, we're just like, oh yes, we're sick. But that's what we were hoping for with this movie. But I agree with you guys for the most part. I can't remember what I gave it, but I think I might have liked it a tiny bit more than you guys.
Yeah, I think I don't know what I have as my ranking, but I'm gonna move this to C+. It's fine. It's watchable.
Yeah.
It's not great, but it has some things I like more than I don't like.
Yeah, I liked more than I didn't like for sure. But I like Steve, was hoping to be my expectations to be more than met.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not buying this one, but I could just see Nick's TikTok about buying it now.
Yeah, I'll probably get it. But that's just me.
I can imagine the slipcovers of the steelbooks are going to look great for this. The style is crazy.
Probably.
Yeah, this seems like the kind of thing, like, you know how I used to have the Reservoir Dog. I mean, I still do. The Reservoir Dogs, like the gas can.
Oh, yeah.
Like steelbook container, which I always thought was really cool.
Sure.
Like, this seems like, oh, this has to come in like a toxic
Radiation
waste
barrel,
barrel. Yeah, 100%.
Did you see, like, for selling, to promote Jaws, the popcorn bucket, like, the cup was the buoy?
Oh, yeah.
Damn, that's kind of cool. I like that.
They've had some cool ones.
They've had some cool, but then they have like Moana's ship, and you're like, what do I do with that? It's so ugly and boring and lacks detail. Is that the popcorn bucket? Like, where do you put the stuff? But I like the what is it? The beaver for Naked Gun. That's that's just a fun, silly thing. But anyhow, All right, let's main topic it up. Get the fuck out of here.
Alrighty.
All right, so we watched Caught Stealing.
Oh, yeah? I didn't see that.
All right, bye, Nick. Darren Aronofsky's latest movie, a movie that looks like a Guy Ritchie movie that if you compare it to any of his other movies, you would not guess that this is Darren Aronofsky. And I totally forgot, but I heard on another podcast, like, yeah, he was supposed to do a Batman movie at one time, like a Batman Year One. Like, damn, that would have been cool. Oh, he was also supposed to do the Wolverine when he was in Japan. Damn, that would have been cool. And then he makes Mother instead, and then goes on to this, and like, the things he could have done.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'd be interested to see, like, what a big budget franchise Aronofsky film would be. But at the same time, like, I kind of... Like, if you're a director who, like, makes original shit and it's usually good, keep doing that.
Yeah, no.
I don't need, like, great filmmakers are great filmmakers because they do great shit. Mm-hmm. I think even if you make a great franchise film, it doesn't feel like your film.
Yeah.
You know?
I get that. I was just really excited for it, but I've been a fan of Darren Aronofsky for a long time.
Mhm.
I think I remember watching Pi as it was something my roommate picked up. He was working at a like a Hollywood Video at the time, and he grabbed it, and I'm like, oh wow, that was really good. Oh, he's got a new movie coming out, Requiem for a Dream, and then that like blew me out of the water. And so I've just been kind of following his career through good and bad. And his latest one, I think it's like right in the middle of his filmography. I think this is like a perfectly good movie. Doesn't really fit him, and I think everybody's pretty good in it. It's a lot more bleak than I expected. I thought this was going to be a Snatch or Lock, Stock sort of like fun
Yeah.
crime movie, but no, this is like sad at points.
Yeah. I mean, it is bleak, but I will say I think it is still fun throughout, and never really feels like so. Like his films are depressing.
Yeah.
And there's usually like some glimmer of hope in them, at least like a bit, or maybe not like necessarily hope, but like the character who has just died got what they wanted in the end. But you know, what was the cost? Where this, like, it ends happy ish.
Ish. Yeah. In most of his movies, like your lead dies.
Yeah.
You know, but this has an actual happy ending
Uh,
to a degree.
To a degree. But I ended up having a real good time with this. I agree. It doesn't feel like an Aronofsky film. It is pretty like straightforward, but I think it's paced pretty well. It never stops. Something is always going on.
Yeah.
And like it feels well made. I think there's some like really interesting shots with like drone stuff. But and I think there's Austin Butler. I've only ever really seen in the Elvis movie and then Dune.
Yeah.
Like I have like he just seems like he's been blowing up and he's
Yeah.
just constantly in stuff. But I feel like at the same time I don't really see a lot of him.
Yep.
So to see him like in the lead of this, I'm like, you know what? Austin Butler's pretty good.
He is pretty good. Yeah.
And I think while his character may not be the most interesting in a cast of like really interesting characters, I think he is the most fully fledged out character. Not only because he has the most screen time, but because he's given like plenty of quirks, like the always being like being a big Giants fan.
Sure.
An
alcoholic.
You know, you have his backstory with like his accident and why he doesn't play baseball, but it gives him like a signature weapon with a baseball bat kind of
Which
thing.
he only uses
Which he only uses a
once.
little bit, but it's like he never picks up a gun, or like he holds a gun, but he doesn't use it.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, I don't drive. Like that's an ongoing bit throughout the film. Like he has enough character quirks to like make him feel like fully realized.
Sure.
But like Matt Smith, any scene he's in, I think he kind of steals the show. Zoe Kravitz is only in for a shocking little bit amount of time, but I think she's fun. Like the psycho goon characters in this movie
Yeah, the
are
battering ram one.
the little like
fun.
goblin man. He's really like annoying piece of shit who like I hope this guy dies, but he was fun. Liev Schreiber and Vincent D'Onofrio as two Hasidic Jews who are just like psycho murderers. They're fun, but they're like so polite and just like proper, but they
totally
just carry
evil.
but just totally evil and talking about like cutting people's eyes out and machine gunning people down and throwing grenades. This it's just like a good time. So yeah, I really dug this movie.
Yeah. It's not making my top 10, you know, that's for sure. But yeah, I was never bored throughout this, and I enjoyed most of it. I mean, it's a Hollywood thing, but like, wow, what a pathetic loser Austin Butler is. He's an alcoholic. He works at a bar. He lives in a shitty little apartment.
He's the hottest looking dude I've ever seen.
He still has the abs. And I even saw a thing they were talking about, like, he had to gain a bunch of weight because the director wanted him to have like a baseball player's butt. Like they have very specific butts, I guess, from the stances of batting and pitching and things like that, and they have a certain sort of bubble butt. And he had to like have a certain diet for that. I'm like, Was that necessary?
Couldn't you just fake that?
It's like, yeah, his pants are on the whole time, and like, give me more schlubby dudes. Like, I don't know who'd be a good. I don't want Seth Rogen in this role, but someone who's got a little weight on him. That'd be fun. Austin Butler is like too handsome of a guy,
Yeah.
and I really don't want to like him because he's just got that stupid face and the whole Elvis voice. But everything I see him in, like, oh, I guess he's good. And then when I heard someone fan cast him as Gambit, and like, ugh, that's like totally perfect. I guess he's fine.
I could see it.
Yeah.
Let's see. I think. Oh well, is she in the trailer? But I don't remember seeing Regina King in the trailer for this
I don't
movie.
think she is.
Okay.
Or maybe she's just like running up and pulls a gun.
Because when she first shows up and she's interviewing, I was like, oh, Regina King's in this. That's nice because I'm a big fan of hers, and I thought she was just going to be like just the cop who's in a scene or two and then she's gone. But she's like a big part of this movie. So that was really cool. I like seeing her and stuff because I feel like her whole career has usually just been like bit parts. But in the past like few years, she's been like getting more lead stuff, and I really like seeing her. So the only thing I think I wish was different, because I guess the whole like arc of this movie is he's a fuck up, and Zoe Kravitz's character is like, I just want to be with someone who like can get their shit together. And this movie is like his journey of like kind of like trying to get his shit together in a world that like it just keeps throwing shit at him, but also like it's not really his fault.
No.
Especially this, like the car crash thing was his fault.
Sure.
And the emotional crux of this movie is like, can I reconcile with my past and like admit to what I've done? I've been running away from it my whole life. I'm trying to run away from these problems, and it just keeps fucking my day up. And then he finally tackles his problems at the end and, gets his quote unquote happy ending after everyone in his life other than his mom is dead.
Yeah.
And like, I thought it was very thematically great that like he's able to defeat the bad guys by doing the thing that like he was so afraid of doing again, was like getting behind the wheel and crashing the car and killing those two guys. I thought that was really a great way to sort of end it. But like there wasn't any, I never really got the vibe that like, how was this guy able to figure out like how to get away with all this stuff? Not that it was necessarily necessary, but it never came off that he was like a smart guy or a street smart guy or any of that. There wasn't sort of like, you see him using the bat in one scene at the batting cage. It's like, man, like he clearly was like a great baseball player, and you would think that he would use that. I wish there was just some part of me that there was something that he did earlier in the movie that made me go like, okay, I understand like why he had the skills to circumnavigate all this stuff. But it just kind of seems like, oh, he got real lucky and it just worked out in the end, which is, it's fine. But I always just like when a character is like, oh, I see that they are a smart person. But it was just like, nope, I got these guys to kill these guys, and then I figured out these guys killed my girlfriend, and then I killed them at the end. But that being said, that's my only real complaint. I think it also did sort of slow down. Like, things were always happening, but I felt like the back half was like, I was kind of like, okay, are we getting to the end? And then it just kind of kept going.
Once you met the two Jewish guys, I like looking at my clock, I was like, oh, okay, we're wrapping up. We got 15 minutes. I think my math was just wrong, but it just keeps going and keeps going. Like, fuck.
Yeah, when they go with the machine guns to like the wedding thing, I was like, okay, this is the climax of the movie. Yeah, but it wasn't.
It was not.
There was still like 20 more minutes left, and it was just like, oh, okay. It was just like one thing after another. And I think what also was jarring is it kept bouncing back and forth between groups. It was just like you ran into the Russian guys and then was talking to the cop and then back to the Russian guys, but then and
the Jewish guys,
and then we got Bad Bunny in a scene or two, and then like
he's pretty funny,
and then the shootout over here, and then it was just like it never stopped, and it was just kind of like hard to keep up, and you're like, god damn, like I figured we would have been to the end by now. But like I said, good time. I don't think I have anything else to say.
Two things I like. I like that he got his shit kicked in so bad that he pissed himself and then he pissed blood. That was different.
They ruptured his kidney.
Yeah, you don't see that every day. And then I like that Matt Smith like dies from a head injury from Austin Butler,
Mhm.
but it takes a long time. It's like, yeah, just slow bleeding in there, and eventually that's just gonna kill you.
Yeah. His like bulb on his head just
Yeah.
like slowly getting bigger over the
Yeah.
course of the movie.
Oh, and I don't like that the little battering ram kicked the cat. So that was fucked up. Don't kick the cat.
Yeah.
And how'd that cat survive that car crash? He grabs it like and puts the cat in between him and the airbag. You're crushing that cat. But I do like that the cat actually liked him and didn't like anybody else.
Mhm.
That was nice.
Yeah. I also like that the twist of, oh, you assume that Matt Smith was fucking everybody over. It was just like, no, I just left and
Yeah, I
forgot
had
to tell
do
everybody.
A real thing.
Yeah. I had to take care of my dad died,
Mhm.
and I came back and everyone thought I stole all their money, which I thought that was kind of fun.
And now that they think that, I'm just gonna do it.
Yeah.
Which I don't blame them
Because
for.
like clearly he was a piece of shit, but he doesn't seem like that bad of a guy
I mean, for a drug dealer.
for a drug dealer. Yeah.
But all in all, a perfectly fine movie. I think I gave it a B minus. Like it was enjoyable, not a lot of flaws, but I didn't fall in love with it.
Did you clock Laura Dern's voice immediately? Because
No.
as soon as I heard the voice, I was like, I know that voice, and it took me like 75% of the movie before I was like, who the fuck is he talking to? And I was like, that's got to be Laura Dern.
No.
And so nice little Laura Dern cameo at the end.
Yeah. How is she involved in this? Like, why her of all people?
I don't know. I feel like she just probably knew him, Aronofsky, from like some Oscar party or something like that. And just like, hey, if you ever make a thing, like I'll be a voice on the phone. He's like, I got you, and he threw her in there. Yeah. She probably made either nothing or like 50 grand for one day's work.
A day rate sort of thing.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we can do a little ranking, talking about our best and favorite Darren
Well,
Aronofsky.
what are you giving this movie as a grade?
I said a B minus.
Okay, I'm gonna B plus because I had a good time.
Okay.
I don't know if it'll be on my top 10. It could be, but I feel like it's probably gonna be more likely an honorable mention.
Yeah, wait till the end of the year when we have all the actual like Oscar bait movies.
Yeah, but this was better than I expected.
Yeah. Okay, so I think what to consider for his filmography, because he has some shorts, he has music videos.
I think there's
and
only
stuff.
9.
Yeah, so we got Caught Stealing, The Whale, Mother, Noah, Black Swan, The Wrestler, The Fountain, Requiem for a Dream, and Pi. So I'm going to start off at the bottom. My least favorite is The Fountain. I wanted to rewatch it before this podcast, but it's not streaming anywhere, so kind of SOL on that. And I was like, well, maybe I'll rewatch Mother. And then I was like, I don't want to rewatch Mother.
I'm also going to pick The Fountain as my number 9, just because I haven't seen it, and it seems the weirdest.
Yeah. I'm going to say after that, it's probably Pi. I think Pi is a good movie, but it's not one you want to rewatch a lot. It's a little weird. Probably doesn't hold up. It was revolutionary for its time, but compared to everything else on this list, I'm going to put Pi there.
I'm also going to put Pi as my number 8 because I haven't seen it.
Right.
But it seems like that the kind of movie where, I've known people who are like, oh man, you got to see Pi if you like Aronofsky stuff. I can see it being a good movie, but also one of those like first time movies like, oh, I see the like talent here, but it hasn't quite hit enough.
Yep.
So that's kind of the vibe I'm getting from that. But I have not seen that movie.
And then I'd say probably my next one, it's probably Noah. I think Noah has some really great shots, the people clinging to the rock as the flood's coming, some weird animals, but like the rock angels I don't really love. I don't really like the cast all that much. It's a weird topic for him to cover. It was a fine movie, but I'm not interested in rewatching Noah.
For number 7, I'm gonna go Mother because I haven't seen Mother.
Yeah, okay.
Also, I know they eat a baby or whatever, and as someone who has a small child, that would upset me.
They get the fork and knife out and everything.
Yeah, Jesus.
I'm gonna say for this spot, I will put Caught Stealing here. It's like between that and Mother, so Mother will be my next one. I really need to rewatch Mother at some point. Caught Stealing is probably a better story, but Mother is just so weird and out there. It's hard not to enjoy.
At number 6, I'm gonna go Noah.
Okay.
I have seen Noah, and I think it's one of those movies that I have mostly forgotten about and have like no real desire to ever see again. I remember being in the theater and just kind of going like, okay. I like the Angel Rock monsters only because like I thought they were just an interesting take.
Mm-hmm.
There are some good visuals and stuff. I like the size and like the design of the arc. So I think there's and you know I'm not a religious person, but I'm always interested in like religious stories. So like I'll take any sort of new take on the same story that we've heard a bunch of times.
So next, I would say is The Whale. This is a new watch for me. I wanted to make sure I watched it before we got to this episode. Um, it just I always wanted to see it, and it got all these awards, but I just never seemed to want to pull the trigger. And so now was as good a time as any. And The Whale, kind of awesome. I really enjoyed it. I would have probably maybe even ranked it higher if not for the very, very end. I think it gets a little like this is your clip for your Oscar award. He's like talking right into the camera. Someone's trying to leave, and he turns and he's looking right in the camera, like, "Please don't leave me." Tears in his eyes, and then his daughter's reading the poem, and he's standing up and he's making his way, and it gets a little like, okay, now I'm kind of rolling my eyes at how schmaltzy it's getting, but up until that point, I was really into it. Sadie Sink is a huge bitch. Like, at first, I thought they were just making her being this precocious teen who's like, I'm kind of pissed off at my dad for leaving us, but you know what? By the end of this, I'm gonna love him and I'm gonna become a better person. But she's like, the Mormon dude coming by, sending his like family pictures of him smoking pot, trying to like ruin his life, like putting stuff on Instagram of Brendan Fraser about when he goes to hell, there'll be a grease fire because of how fat he is. Like, she is, and then even her mom is saying, like, she's absolutely evil, and the whole time is like, she's the best, she's great, she has so much potential. Like, she's absolutely evil. Would she have become evil if he didn't leave? Probably not, but man, she fucking sucks. But he's really good, and I love all the shots of whenever he stands up. They do this kind of like low angle, and he looks like a bear rising up, and then every shot of everybody else is like down from his height. He is extremely big and like daunting, scary, disgusting, sad. I really enjoyed The Whale.
So what is this, number 5? Who cares? My next pick would be Caught Stealing. Only because like I could see of all of his films, this is probably the one I would go back and rewatch like every now and then, just because it is, I think, a good time. But I think pretty much everything else on this list after this is kind of like more iconic Aronofsky stuff. So just from and I don't know how much I'll feel about what I'll think about this movie after like the recency bias wears off. So I'm just gonna put this at a safe like. I like Caught Stealing, so I think it's top 5 of 9.
And 3 of them I haven't seen.
Yep.
So top 5 of 6.
And then after that, I'd probably go.
I know.
It's like The Whale, The Wrestler, and Black Swan. I could all kind of see like interchanging for me because it's been so long since I've seen The Wrestler and Black Swan. I'm gonna go with The Whale next, only because it's smaller than everything else, but I like that it's small. I like that it's pretty much just set in his apartment. I think Hong Chow may have gotten robbed for Best Supporting Actress in this movie because I think she
wasn't it up against Jamie Lee Curtis for Everything Everywhere All at Once?
Yeah, it should have been Hong Chow or
the mom.
No.
Oh.
the daughter from Everything Everywhere All at Once. I thought she was great.
Yeah.
I think it was between these two.
Yeah.
But I thought she was great in this movie as his caretaker and just
Mm-hmm.
like ripping into him. Just like, I just want you to fucking live,
Yeah.
and you just like won't do it.
Mm-hmm.
And just great performances. And I love these sort of small movies that feel larger than life, pun
Yeah.
intended.
Yeah, and it's like shot in 4:3, so it's like really cramped the whole
Mhm.
time, and he just fills the frame every scene that
and
he's
just
in.
like some of the scenes of him, like when he's like depression eating or whatever, and just
Oh
like,
my
oh, the
God.
sound design is disgusting.
Yeah.
And it just makes you, it's like, I know I'm seeing a human being here, but it's just shot to make him seem like a monster. And it's great stuff.
Heartbreaking.
I think The Whale gets a bad rap. I think The Whale's pretty fucking awesome.
I'm with you here. I think I'm gonna put Black Swan here. I very much enjoyed this movie. The most stylish of all of his movies, sexiest for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But I think my next one, the wrestler, is just a little bit better. It hits you emotionally more than this ballerina turning into a bird. But Black Swan is beautiful. It needs another rewatch, but I'd say my number 2 would be The Wrestler.
Okay. Yeah, I think I'm kind of following the same boat where I'm going to say, like, once again, I'd have to rewatch both of these to really decide. I think there's an argument to be made where I would say maybe Black Swan is maybe a better film than The Wrestler, but I think Natalie Portman's performance is probably better than Rourke's, but I think Rourke's is a more interesting.
It feels real. It feels like just a
like
documentary.
Black Swan is like a descent into madness, and you don't know what's real and what's not, and it's all like, I just remember there being, for both these movies, my biggest complaint that I can just remember is there's so many shots of like the back of someone walking, and I'm just like, can we
what is
cut this out?
elephant?
Yeah, it was so boring. But that being said, one of the best Natalie Portman performances, but I'm gonna go that at 3.
And then Wrestler at 2.
Wrestler at 2,
Yeah.
because even though I'm not necessarily as in love with Rourke's performance in this, it does feel real. I think it is, we get to finally see like the bad side of wrestling, where we, like, you and I grew up in wrestling, and it's just like this big flashy thing and like these big story arcs and stuff. But this is like, no, this is what wrestlers do at the bottom of the barrel, and just like seeing him cut himself with hidden blades and stuff.
Go into like the Dollar Tree or something, finding things that they can hit each other with, like him with his opponent. Like, how's that? Oh, okay, yeah, I can take that.
Yeah, it was just a more interesting like dive into this world of like of the obsession of the perfect performance in Black Swan versus like I just need to get through this show, and just because like this is all that I know and all I can do, even if I don't have any money, I don't have a good relationship with my daughter,
even if I kill myself in the next one.
The closest thing I have to a romantic relationship is with a stripper who like may or may not actually give a shit about me, and then just like him may or may not going out, like doing that stunt with his heart possibly exploding. It's just all like,
it's very much like The Whale.
Yeah, very much so.
It's a different whale. Well, I'm glad we're on the same page for number 1, and it's Requiem for a Dream.
Of course it is.
It's such an amazing movie. This movie is always on people's list of movies I will never rewatch again. And I think that's crazy. I've watched it so many times. It's such a great movie with amazing performances. And as someone who hates Jared Leto, like, I love Jared Leto in this. He's so good. Marlon Wayans, except for like this new movie, him coming out, it seems like he's always just had the comedy roles, but he actually gets to do something a little more heavy, something very realistic. Everybody, Ellen Burstyn is so tragic in this. It's a shame she didn't win Best Actress. She deserved it.
I haven't seen this movie in ages, but of all the movies on this list, it's, other than Caught Stealing, which I saw an hour ago, this movie feels the freshest in my mind, because I think there's just so much iconic stuff in it. And it's a movie that like we've talked about plenty of times, and like it doesn't come up on like my YouTube recommendations or whatever, but it's one of those things like when it's talking about cinema, like Requiem for a Dream comes up, and there's not a lot of like there's tons of movies where people do drugs, but there's not a ton of movies that like dive deep into the world of like what drugs can do to you in such a like detailed way.
Yeah. The path you take to get more, and like him shooting up into his like
Open
necrotic arm,
Yeah.
her going ass to ass, like the refrigerator trying to eat Ellen Burstyn. Like there's just so many memorable things for this.
You get the spectrum of like how it like what effects it could have on women, on someone of color, on the rich kid, on the old lady, and just like you see Ellen Burstyn's descent into madness of just wanting to get on this game show, and then just like all the fun like camera work stuff that they do with that, and just like going into her mind, and she's believing that she's on the show, and then Marlon Wayans, who probably gets the happiest ending of all of them, but ends up in prison. But he gets clean at the end, right?
They don't say,
or they don't say, but it's like he's in prison.
More than likely, he could get clean.
Sure.
Whereas, what's her face?
But Jennifer Connelly's like going into like sex work just to like feed her drug addiction. Jared Leto loses an arm. Like it's all just such a fucking
he gets
downer.
to go to prison too, but without an arm.
Oh right. Okay. And it's just like if you want to scare your children to not do drugs, like don't send them to the DARE program. No. Show them this fucking movie.
I've always said that like maybe junior high, middle school is a little young for them to be watching this, but
yeah, you probably don't want to show a middle schooler ass to ass play as a businessman like come on her face.
Few things, but like this should be shown as drug awareness education because it will scare you more than just like, hey Timmy, don't do that, and he accidentally picks up a gun and blows his brains out. Like, what was that? I think that was Beverly Hills 90210. I think it was like kids were drinking and it's like, oh cool, my dad's gun, and he kills his friend. Anyhow,
this movie is incredible. And
I did not do it all.
This was his second film after Pie.
Yeah,
it was just Pie and then this. It's like, man, what a fucking home run! What a way to showcase your talent. This movie is great, and I get why people don't want to watch it again, but if you love cinema and performances and just or just if you just want to see some like bleak takes on life, this is the movie for you. This movie is fucking sweet. I saw this movie in that like formative years of like starting to get into film and cinema and stuff. It's like, oh, I don't need to see the Disney movie of the week or the big budget action film or whatever. It's like, let me see some of the smaller indie shit. And this is one of those movies that I heard so much about. I was like, I gotta check it out. And of course, it was one of the movies that blew my mind when I was 16 or whatever it was when I first saw it. And I was like, okay, I need to see more shit like this. So yeah, number 1, Requiem for a Dream.
All right, cool. Next week, it's
The Long Walk.
It's The Long Walk.
Hell yeah!
It's Spinal Tap 2 in Downton Abbey. So The Long Walk will be our main topic. Those Spinal Tap guys, like I love all those actors, but it's a little late for this, and I'm kind of over the the legacy sequel sort of thing. We're done, but maybe it is legitimately funny. Maybe it's like it had a good enough script to actually do this and not feel like a cash grab. We'll see. That's a one I'll wait for reviews.
Yeah, I need to rewatch 1 because I don't actually know if I ever finished This Is Spinal Tap. I know I started it, so
showed it to one of my girlfriends in the past, and she was a little bit younger than me, and she just did not get it.
Yeah, I feel like I remember watching and going like, I don't know if this humor translates, but we'll see. I need to review it again.
Cool. All right. Well, if you want to get in contact with us, we are at WRPLpodcast@gmail.com. We're on Instagram, TikTok, Threads, and Blue Sky. Nick, thanks for coming along.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
And as always, I'm Ben.
And I'm Steve.
And keep consuming.
Take it from the top. Take 2. Rolling and action.
And I'm Ben and Steve. And keep consuming.
Nailed it.